All right, we do have a tornado warning right now, and this was just issued by the National Weather Service, so we'll take a little closer inspection here. And if you're anywhere within these red lines, and if you remember at the top of our newscast, we were looking at our camera on the Savannah River, pointed back here into Jasper County. So let's put the warning information up there for you right now. And we do have some team weather coverage of this. So the tornado warning right now, if you're within these yellow lines, so right here is the Savannah River, right there's River Street. We're looking right up here, Highway 17, very close to parts of Hardeeville. This tornado warning goes until 6 p.m. And we do have a camera that will look at that. So Catherine's going to get that turned, and then we'll show you maybe in a double box. If Charles, you're back there, let's get that ready. Let's get our DOT cameras ready. Any camera that we can point at this, we'll get a double box going here so you can see the visual. Right in this area right there is the area of concern. So we're going to zoom down into that area. That was the location right in here. We'll just, the tornado warning right there. So let's get that information off from there. We'll get the radar set up here. So this is the location right along South Carolina 315, Port Wentworth right there. You're not included in the warning, but anywhere within these red lines. Let's get the velocity up here for you. This is like taking an x-ray of the storm, and it's this area right in here. I'll circle it for you to show you where there could potentially be a tornado at. And let's keep Catherine's microphone up too, because she has the National Weather Service chat up over there. So in case there's any information, what was the direction of this moving?
So this is moving north at 5 miles an hour, and I actually just turned that camera from our Thompson Hotel, and there was a flash of lightning, and you can definitely see some lowering in that area. So we are going to continue to keep a close eye on this. Again, it does look like it's moving north at 5 miles an hour. This is until 6 o'clock tonight. So if you are in these areas, again, this does include I-95 in the South Carolina near mile marker 5. So that's also something to keep in mind.
Okay, let's get our Thompson Savannah camera up here, because we need to we have an awesome view of this storm. And we'll be able to see that lowering that we pointed out just a little bit earlier with that. So this is the area we're concerned with. Tornado warning anywhere within these red lines right now, which is mainly Jasper County. Does this touch Beaufort County at all, the northern extent? I just want to stay focused right now on this area that is just to the north of Savannah. And this has been stationary to moving north, maybe around 5 miles per hour. Hey, Kate, can you let me know in my ear here if we're going to get that camera up? We really need to take a look at this right here because our camera will get a direct view of that. Let's take a look here at our velocity. So that's the area right near Highway 17 that we're looking at that rotation right now. So that is in the middle of the tornado warning. This goes until 6 p.m. Catherine and I will be keeping you updated here. So a tornado warning until 6 p.m. And we'll put that radar back up here. We'll give you the tornado warning information. And we'll also zoom this out because we also have, it looks like a severe thunderstorm warning now that bookends this, and also the tornado warning right there. Okay, so on the left-hand side is our downtown camera that is taking a look off in the distance. And is that the lowering there a little bit that we see, or is that just the fringe? I think we're looking more off in the distance.
Yes, it's off in the distance, and I was able to see a little bit of that lowering due to a lightning strike behind it. So it is kind of difficult to see at the moment, but it's that area right over the marsh that we're keeping a close eye on. Again, this is right near Speedway Boulevard. So as you're headed into the low country, kind of right on that spot where, you know, you kind of split off toward, if you're going towards Hilton Head, it looks like that's the area that we're watching. And again, that severe thunderstorm warning, Jeremy, that you just mentioned, that is in effect until 6:15, and it's moving south at 10 miles an hour. So these are kind of going in different directions, but again, we are keeping a close eye on both at the moment.
Okay, so the severe thunderstorm warning includes parts of Bryan County. It does include downtown Savannah, southern Effingham County, and it also goes into Jasper County. And then within that, there is a little bit of rotation right now. So what we likely have is the inflow coming into this thunderstorm. This area down here has had no rain today. It's still hot. It's still humid. So we have this conveyor belt of moisture feeding into these storms. And look at all these lightning strikes. Even if you don't have that rotation that spins up maybe a brief tornado, we could have wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. All kinds of rain. Parts of Bluffton have already had around 3 inches of rain. And these lightning strikes here, you don't want to be anywhere outside, even if you're not in the warned area. If you hear thunder, make sure to stay inside. So if you are within any of these red lines here, and this is mainly Jasper County, so as soon as you cross the Talmadge Bridge, you get past Hutchinson Island, and you are in that tornado warning. So it's a little bit of rotation there, and so far this is all radar indicated, correct?
That's correct.
We have.
This is radar indicated, no hail in there. And again, this does include that area like you were just talking about, just past Hutchinson Island.
Okay, so we're going to take the warnings off here for 1 second. Tornado warning, that goes until 6 p.m. for this area of Jasper County, and then all these areas shaded in yellow right here, and that does include downtown Savannah, Pooler, towards Bloomingdale. If you're into southern areas of Effingham County, northeastern areas of Bryan County, you're also included in the severe thunderstorm warning. So a little closer inspection. We need to keep everyone updated, especially with this tornado warning. And any cameras that we could just pop up from time to time, feel free to add those into a double box here. Let's put the, we'll do a little inspection here to show you this is where the rotation is at. So right here, looking at Highway 25 crossing into Jasper County, that's where the rotation is at. And again, the camera that we were looking at down here now has to cut through a pretty big portion of the tornado. So this may be, if it would be spinning up here, a rain wrap tornado. So you're not going to be able to see that if you're in this vicinity or know someone traveling in this area. Please let them know that they could be headed into some dangerous weather, and we're going to continue monitoring this. So right here is where we have the Talmadge Bridge crossing into South Carolina and then bending off, heading up to the Bluffton area. So this is I-95 north at mile marker 4. You can see the road spray coming up there. So even if you don't have strong winds or you're not in the vicinity of this rotation that the radar is indicating, you have to use a lot of extra time traveling because there has been 2 to 3 inches of rain in some locations so far today. So there could be a lot of standing water on the roadways. And we'll back the view up here just a little bit because we have so many thunderstorms across our area. And I'll also put the warnings back on. And Catherine, if you get any new updates, feel free to jump in here really at any time.
Yeah, no new update, but I did want to note if we get that Savannah camera up at any moment, no rush there, but there is a pretty good view, if I can turn the camera a little bit, of that shelf cloud now, of that severe thunderstorm warned storm starting to move into parts of Chatham County. And it's a pretty decent sized shelf cloud there. So again, not just that tornado warning, but we are seeing that severe thunderstorm warning that is starting to make its way into parts of Bryan County, Chatham County, Effingham County, Jasper County again. And that includes wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So those are damaging wind gusts as well. And you can see, I'll try and turn it a little bit. I don't know what, why it's not.
I think if you turn it maybe a little bit more to the northwest, we're probably just getting a little slice of that camera here.
Yeah.
On the view.
It seems to be a little delayed.
Yep. Because it really appears like once you cross over the Talmadge Bridge and where 17 may split off. So that is, go back towards the Talmadge Bridge. That is a nasty looking shelf cloud there on the horizon. So
you can see it there.
If you see that coming towards your area, that is the leading edge of the severe thunderstorm. Now, if you're in South Carolina, Jasper County, we're going to zoom back in here because we want to keep everyone safe that's within the tornado warning. So we have the potential in the Savannah area, winds maybe 50 or 60 miles per hour. And then where we have the tornado warning in place, I'm going to take this off from there. And we'll be able to see within these red lines right here. This is the area where we have the tornado warning, and that will be continuing until 6 p.m. It's 6:15 for the severe thunderstorm warning. And I'm guessing once we start doing a little more of an x-ray of the storm here in just a second, we probably won't see as much rotation. So that is obviously some good news right now. When you get those little brighter red and green colors next to each other, that's what indicates that we have rotation. And we had that a little bit earlier, almost right near the 17. So we're looking here. I think this is State Route 30, Piedmont Avenue, or Piedmont Avenue, State Route 21 towards Augusta Road. And you can see those stoplights shaking around there right now. So winds are starting to pick up. It's a wall of water coming down. These are torrential tropical downpours that could easily produce some localized street flooding. So we have to monitor that. And of course, within the red lines, once you hop over into the Jasper County area, you're looking at Chatham County on the left, and the radar is really focused in now onto Jasper County. We also have a rotation marker here that is very close to the Savannah River. Our radar, at least at this second, is not indicating rotation in that area. Let's move this down a little bit because it looks like some of the storm on the leading edge may have a little bit of weak rotation here towards the southeast side of Port Wentworth. Yeah, it looks like right in that area there. Catherine, if they give any indication that there might be a new tornado warning, certainly let me know.
They're going to continue that tornado warning until 6 o'clock tonight. So that's the only update we have from the National Weather Service at the moment. But we will continue to keep an eye on this. Again, they did just issue that they will continue to keep that in effect until 6 o'clock.
So it looks like the area I circled there could be some weak rotation, but at the very least, are we seeing a pocket of some stronger winds? That might be very close to the Port of Savannah or up the Savannah River just a little bit towards Port Wentworth. Are you seeing that area that I'm circling?
Yeah, that's exactly that spot. We're also seeing definitely a little bit of shear in that area as well. And it's important to note that this is moving in a northward direction. So it's not moving towards downtown Savannah, but we definitely have a very good view from our downtown Savannah camera of this. Again, this is just over that area, kind of near the Hutchinson Island. That's where they're continuing to say that warning is in effect, but we don't have a new warning in place just yet.
Okay. So what we're looking at with our rotation tracker is almost like the footprint of where this rotation has traveled. And as this line is starting to make its way down to the south and east, there are some rotations. Obviously within the red lines here, that's into Jasper County. So right here is downtown Savannah, River Street, the Savannah River, and the rotation that prompted the tornado warning, that has been indicated right here where we're showing you by 17, where that splits off and heads towards the Hardyville area. Right here, Port Wentworth, maybe a little portion of Pooler near the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. Also, some indications of a little bit of rotation there. Let's go back to the traditional radar because we can get some insight there. We have the rotation marker there that is right by the Port Wentworth area. Please don't go outside looking for a tornado or looking for the strong straight line winds coming through. There might be some debris flying up in spots. You can look at those winds just lashing. That's State Route 21. I would say right now winds are 40 miles per hour or higher as we're looking at Chatham County there. That is State Route 21, and I believe it's 307, I think is what it says up there. So at Dean Forest. So State Route 21 at Dean Forest. Winds are picking up in that direction, and this whole line is going to come right over Garden City, then over the Savannah area. So you want to prepare now. Make sure if you're like on the east side of Savannah, maybe out towards our islands, you still have a couple minutes. Get the outdoor patio furniture secured. If it was trash day, get the trash bin inside, and also move your vehicle under the carport or into the garage. That's a pretty good visual. If we have the downtown Savannah camera, if that shelf cloud is coming in, I want to take a look at that once again. So there it is, that extremely ominous looking cloud that we have out there right now. That is a shelf cloud, and it is right over the Talmadge Bridge now. I mean, take a look at that. That is one mean looking cloud out there right now. That's on the leading edge of a severe thunderstorm. And then we're going to go peek at the potential for rotation within the storm once again. So obviously we have that pocket of stronger winds that is over Port Wentworth, that is near the port of Savannah right now, and that's going to continue moving its way down the Savannah River towards downtown Savannah, Midtown area, and the west side. We have, looks like a couple rotation markers there, so we need to get in a little bit closer. Have we had any storm reports yet, Catherine?
No storm reports at the moment. No new information from the National Weather Service. Just continuing to watch again those areas, and that severe thunderstorm warned storm continuing to head towards parts of Bryan and Chatham County. Again, the winds with this storm 60 miles an hour, and those are damaging wind gusts. So regardless of the areas not under that tornado warning at the moment, we're still seeing a very ominous view, as well as a lot of those. We did actually get a no new update for this storm, just a special weather statement out for.
I really think this is probably almost directly on top of the port of Savannah right now. That said, the Garden City Terminal Road right here is Highway 25. We'll back this out just a little bit more. Those are pretty good wind indicators we're seeing. So this is going to continue marching its way towards downtown Savannah. And if anyone in the control room, if you're able to roll on some of our cameras right now, so we can show people the visuals of this a little bit later on. This is coming right through Garden City. This will likely be over Chatham Parkway here very soon. It's moving over Dean Forest Road, and then it will be heading towards Bay Street area.
That area that you've been noting, I'm turning the camera just a little bit. It's definitely a little lagging, but I want you to note behind the Talmadge Bridge over near the Savannah ports, and once this camera catches up and turns to where I'm looking right now, you can definitely see a little bit of lowering, and it's kind of that area that you've been watching. You know, notice the dark kind of area right behind the second little area of the Talmadge Bridge there, and that's actually kind of in the middle of the bridge now.
Okay. Yeah, and it looks like there is a ship headed into the port of Savannah right now, and that is certainly going to be hitting some pretty strong winds once it gets past the Talmadge Bridge. So let's move this out of here. So you were mentioning this area right in here, and that's where we have the rotation indicators up here. So the radar may be lagging this information by 1 to 2 minutes. What happens is the radar beam goes out, and that radar is in the northern part of Jasper County. It goes out, bounces back, ingests the data, gets sent to us. So there may be a lag of about a minute or two. Take a look at State Route 25 right now and 307, and that wind right now is gusting over 40 miles per hour. If you happen to see any wind gusts at the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, this is certainly a dangerous situation because it is hitting during the evening commute. If you have any friends or family that are trying to drive through Port Wentworth, Garden City right now, you may want to get on the phone with them. If they could pull into a gas station, some sort of sheltered area right now, let these strong winds pass by because we could be seeing winds gusting over 60 miles per hour right now. And yes, there is a tornado warning up here in Jasper County, but we're really trying to focus on where we are doing the radar analysis, thinking that the weather is at its worst, and 100%. This is just lashing through Port Wentworth right now. Severe thunderstorm warning will continue for a lot of Bryan County, Chatham County, within these yellow lines here until 6:15. And the tornado warning still goes here until 6 o'clock. So let's look at our velocity once again. So we're not going to clear this. The National Weather Service will decide that. But the stronger rotation that was in Jasper County earlier, I really believe that's weakened some.
It really has. And I wanted to note that the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport did record a wind gust of 47 miles an hour. And they did just extend that severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. And it looks like no other discussion from the National Weather Service at the moment. But again, it does say that those winds with that severe thunderstorm warning still up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and we saw 47 miles an hour at the airport.
So if we can take a look again towards the Talmadge Bridge, which is right here, it is in part of this circled area, and almost directly over there. I know we have that wasp up in the corner, but right below that, there is a little bit of a lowering. There is a potential that could be a wall cloud, and that would line up with this little bend or appendage sticking out here on radar. So Catherine and I are true and true meteorologists, radar trained, and this part right here, this little notch that's sticking out, that's an indicator there could be a little bit of rotation. So we'll be watching that. And again, we've seen just behind this is where those winds are rushing out of the thunderstorm, and potentially upwards of around 60 miles per hour. So you can see that lowering there across the Talmadge Bridge. We have to watch that very closely. We do not have a tornado warning for Savannah right now, so I just want to make that clear, but we have to watch this very closely. We had the tornado warning still ongoing in Jasper County up here, and all of this wind, water, lightning is headed right towards the downtown area, and it is also spreading through Pooler right now. So if you're in Savannah, down on the south side towards Montgomery, Vernonburg, Oatland Island, Whitmarsh Island, you'll be up very soon. If you could repeat that once again, producer's trying to tell me something here. Okay, so we're going to continue cycling through these cameras, keep the radar on here for you. This is Bonnie Bridge Road at State Route 21. Wind there, at least at this second, doesn't look too bad. So I think what we'll do here for you is begin to loop the radar. Find that there. There we go. Loop the radar just to show you the general motion with this. These are so slow moving. So if you get caught under the thunderstorm, like in the Pooler area, if you're under that for maybe 15 or 30 minutes, easily an inch, inch and a half of rain. And if you're 30 minutes or longer, you could start approaching 2 inches. So we have to watch for localized street flooding. Also, the threat of strong straight line winds, and then possibly a little bit of rotation. We still have rotation markers showing up here. And you're taking a look once again off in the distance. Catherine, can you turn that a little bit more towards the bridge? And
yeah, it's really
we'll
delayed. I have it turned over here.
Okay. It'll probably head.
It'll catch up eventually.
Okay.
But want to go for a little bit of a street by street level too. It looks like some of that heaviest rain now reaching. Again, we can hear it here on Chatham Parkway, but towards 17 there, also towards 516, headed towards parts of Duren. That's going to catch up to you in just a few minutes now. Also seeing some of that heaviest amount of rain in parts of Garden City, Old Louisville Road, seeing a lot of that heavy rain at the moment. Again, this is all for the severe thunderstorm warning, but a lot of that little rotation there, that looks to be just along Highway 21 near Garden City. So we're keeping a close eye on this. No new updates from the National Weather Service at this time. But again, even though we do have that tornado warning in place right now, it's also that severe thunderstorm warning that you can probably, if you're in Poole or Garden City, you're seeing those impacts at the moment, but headed towards Veterans Parkway at the moment, towards Stanley Heights. Also, Hunter Army Airfield. That's going to be towards you in just a few minutes. So we are going to continue to keep an eye on this. Chatham Parkway starting to see some of that heaviest amount of rain at the moment. And we saw the Savannah Hilton at International Airport had a wind gust of 47 miles an hour. So what the National Weather Service has said is this severe thunderstorm warning storm has wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. And so that's exactly what we're seeing. Again, now some of that heaviest amount of rain, again, headed towards Duren. If you're on Eisenhower Drive, this is going to be headed towards you in just a few moments. So you'll want to make sure that you are getting inside as quickly as possible. Jeremy.
Okay. What we'll do here is another analysis where we take an x-ray of the storm, because we need to look in here to check out some of these winds. It looks like we have an expanding wind field here on the leading edge. Notice how it's starting to bow out. So stronger straight line winds could start pushing through much of the Savannah area. We're thinking at least 40, 50 miles per hour. As Catherine has been mentioning, some wind gusts could be approaching 60 miles per hour with this. This is Pine Barren Road at I-95. Again, this storm is hitting at an awful time during the afternoon commute. So anyone out there right now, if you have friends or family, try to message them. Just let them know that that if they allow a lot of extra time here, they'll be fine. They'll get through this. We're watching that wind gust potential push into Savannah. So one thing that I want to mention, though, we're not seeing as much or as well-defined rotation with this. So this may be turning into more straight line winds blowing across the city, which would not be great news, but it'd be better than any type of quick spin-up tornado in a populated area. So we'll back the view out here once again. So we're looking at the rain increasing across the area. Still a severe thunderstorm warning. Did they just update the tornado warning?
They have not updated that tornado warning yet, but it's also important to note this is moving at 15 miles an hour, so it's moving fairly quickly, and the rain is almost to the end of that severe thunderstorm warning polygon there. And so if you're just outside of that, Chippewa Terrace, White Bluff, even parts of Isle of Hope, this is coming to you in just a few moments. You're not under that severe thunderstorm warning just yet, but it looks like it's holding together, and really we're not seeing much weakening with the severe thunderstorm warning storm. Now, the rotation, haven't seen a lot of that in the last couple of minutes. So no new updates from the National Weather Service, but I expect they're going to let that initial tornado warning expire.
Okay. If you happen to get any new storm reports, let me know. I think we're likely going to start seeing reports of street flooding here across the Savannah area. We are looking at rainfall rates that could be 2-3 inches plus per hour, just tropical deluge of rain during the late afternoon commute. And then we also, on this arcing line moving to the whole storm, they say it's moving to the north, but really it's trying to push out and sort of swallow up that warm, humid air that's still in place that's flowing into it. So it's going to continue to inch its way towards the coast, and along with that, not only the torrential rain, but also a whole lot of wind is possible with that. Okay, so some good news. It looks like they just, so we'll update the lower banner here. We're not in a tornado warning, but we're in our newscast here. And I really think we should probably stay with the weather here, just because the tornado warning, they canceled that for Jasper County. So you're in the all clear for this second in Jasper County. And what we need to watch, though, is this severe thunderstorm warning. It goes until 6:15, and I can promise you Catherine and I are going to stay on, and we are going to keep everyone safe and informed in our area, because I know a lot of people are just getting home. Maybe you raced the storm, you beat it, and now you're home. So we were telling you, make sure your car's under the carport or in the garage. We have some strong winds that are pushing across the area. We also have this deluge of rain that could add up to 1, 2, 3 inches of rain in spots. We
do have a new update from the National Weather Service, and if we want to take my graphics for just a moment, we do have a flood advisory that was just issued for parts of Chatham County. It includes Pooler. It's just to the north of Richmond Hill, so all of those areas along I-95. We do have a flood advisory that's now in effect until 8:45 tonight. We could see some minor flooding in those low-lying areas, so that's something important to note. I do have that area highlighted on my screen. It also does include parts of most of Savannah. So all those areas that have just been under that severe thunderstorm warning, you're now under that flood advisory, and so that's something to keep in mind.
Okay. So as we take a look here across the entire area, Beaufort County, you're not in a warning, you're looking pretty good right now, just some rains. We're really squarely focused on northern Bryan County within these yellow lines, Chatham County, and then this goes up to about the Jasper County area. Along with this, there is a threat of torrential downpours, localized street flooding, and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Haven't really heard a big mention of any type of hail with this. And also all these dots that you see, those are lightning strikes. So there is frequent lightning with this, and we can go here. I want to loop this just to show everyone sort of the direction this is moving. The entire line is gradually working its way off to a little bit more of an easterly direction. So that's going to drag that wind potential from I-95 all the way across downtown Savannah here very shortly. And if we can start looking at the downtown camera, I'm sure it's like a big old curtain of rain and probably some wind in that downtown area of Savannah. And we will stop the radar and All right, there it is. Looks like we have another ship headed into the port of Savannah, so that's a good vantage point. You notice, though, typically those newer cranes that they just installed just past the Talmadge Bridge, we can typically see those easily. But at the moment, you just see the lights flashing at the top, and pretty soon we'll likely have just a wall of rain swallow up the Talmadge in the downtown area.
A new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued until 6:45. Wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. This includes Bryan County, Chatham County, Liberty, as well as Jasper. So they basically just extended this all the way to the coast. So that does include parts of Tybee Island, Isle of Hope, Montgomery, Wilmington Island. All of these areas are about to get hit with the same amount of rain. If it holds together the way it has, that's going to continue towards the coastline. Again, this goes until 6:45 tonight.
Okay, so this is what Catherine was highlighting right here. If you're in coastal Bryan County, this does look like it includes part of the Richmond Hill area. Richmond Hill, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning. You're on the edge of these two, but the storm is headed your way. Then the coastal area of Bryan County. Right here, Ossabaw Island, Wausau Island, Little Tybee, up towards Tybee Island, then it cuts off at the Savannah River. So all of these locations right now have a severe thunderstorm warning. The storm is not in your area yet, but they try to warn these in advance, 10, 15, 20 plus minutes, and this goes until 6:45. So that's an hour from now. And the initial wave of wind, rain, all this frequent lightning could be traveling its way a little bit east-northeast. So for some of our coastal areas, the storms off to your west will eventually drag in here as well. What was the movement on the storm here?
Moving to the south or southeast, really, at 15 miles an hour.
So it has picked up a little bit of speed, and I think what we want to do now that this is over the metro area is we can put a storm track on this and show everyone really in advance of this when this will be arriving. Before, the motion was really kind of all over the place, so it's about 15 miles per hour. Let's go forward in time here. If you're in the Richmond Hill area, this is showing about 5:54. May take a little bit longer than that to get the heart of the storm in there, but that's our estimate. Around 6:05 at Isle of Hope, as you take a look at one of our DOT cameras as the wind shakes it around. Montgomery and Chatham County, 6:13. Tybee Island, 6:26. And Oak Level about 6:35. So these are estimates once again. I would say within a few minutes of these times posted here is when some of the impacts, or maybe even the worst of the impacts, would be arriving in your area. So the storm right now seems to be holding pretty well over the Savannah area. If there's been any trend maybe within the last 5 or 10 minutes, have you seen any weakening with this, Catherine?
Not really. It seems to be holding together pretty well. And as we go throughout the next couple of minutes, again, this does include Tybee Island and all of those little coastal areas that really have kind of needed this rain. I mean, they saw a little bit of rain yesterday, but now they're getting quite a bit of it. And again, we do have that flood advisory out as well for a lot of spots in Chatham County. And if this continues on the path, I'm sure they would extend that towards the coast. Okay, so the leading edge of the storm just passed by the Talmadge Bridge right there in the downtown Savannah area. River Street starting to see heavy rain. This will get towards the Eastern Wharf area here very soon. You're looking at Victory Drive at Habersham. Some heavy rain starting up there. It looks like some gusty winds, but wind gusts maybe not that bad in that particular camera. And then this will continue its way towards Oatland Island, Whitmarsh Island, Wilmington Island, and then if this does hold together, eventually Tybee Island. So we have been getting a lot of viewer photos. We'll try to cycle some of those in, but we had just one of the meanest, ugliest looking shelf clouds, which is definitely a scary looking cloud, move right over the Savannah area. And I know a lot of you saw that as it moved in. And now we're seeing the effects of what's just behind that with frequent lightning, a whole lot of wind potential with this as well.
So wind gusts 40, 50 plus miles per hour, certainly a possibility with this. In this area here within the yellow lines, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. The top one will go until 6:15, the one that goes all the way out to the coastline. That one will extend until 6:45. So thunderstorm is moving through Savannah, Pooler right now, Richmond Hill. This is just on your doorstep, so you'll start to see some of those heavier downpours here very soon. And then if this does hold together, if it would hold its intensity, it was certainly very strong moving through Pooler, Port Wentworth. We had the tornado warning earlier in Jasper County. Thankfully, that was canceled a few minutes early. So now what we're watching is this thunderstorm over Chatham and Bryan counties with some wind potential, 40 to 60 miles per hour. And just a lot of rain, as Catherine was mentioning. We have a flood advisory in the Savannah area now. It's not the best time to go out and do any traveling or commuting. If you can hold off a little while, let's give this another about an hour to hour and a half to swing through our entire area. And then we'll be looking a lot better as we go into this evening. So this is why we had our impact day in the forecast leading up to today. We were talking about potential for torrential rain, those strong gusty winds, and just all kinds of lightning. So those were our top things. And then earlier we did have a little bit of rotation in Jasper County that prompted a tornado warning. So far we have not had any confirmation of an actual tornado. That was radar indicated, and what the radar is indicating right now is just a ton of rain and lightning starting to move over Savannah with the wind potential as well with that. So there was a lot of wind earlier in the Port Wentworth area, also back towards I-95 along with Garden City. You're looking at around State Route 25 at I-95. This is down where is this at? It says Jessup up there. I can only see a little portion of that. Okay. So we're also looking a little bit farther down to the south in the Jessup area, because this line of storms does extend all the way down. We can back the view out here. We'll go to our home view. So, yep. So thunderstorms approaching Jessup right now, Hinesville. The warnings, though, are really on top of us here in Bryan and Chatham counties. And look at downtown Savannah right now. I can't even see the Talmadge Bridge at the moment. The wind is starting to pick up in the downtown area, so we'll be monitoring this very closely. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for our area, and that will be continuing here until 6:15, coastal areas 6:45. So the thunderstorms starting to make their way into downtown Savannah and then pushing towards the east side. Have you seen any more rotation in the area?
Does not look like any more rotation, but also it looks like these storms are holding together fairly well. Again, so if this continues to hold together, it's going to be reaching some of those coastal communities, Skidaway Island, Wilmington Island, Whitmarsh, and even it's just reaching parts of Richmond Hill at the moment. So all of this heavy rain is going to continue to head towards the coast over the next couple of minutes. And they did extend the flood advisory for Beaufort and Jasper counties until 7 o'clock tonight. Again, that was until 6 earlier. Now with this added amount of rain, that's been extended to 7. But we do have the other flood advisory that includes parts of Bryan and Chatham counties. That's until 8:45 tonight. And it even includes parts of Effingham County. Okay.
So one thing I want to point out, with our radar winds, we can tell the direction the wind is moving. The leading edge of the wind field right now, the line indicates that leading edge. It is moving from west to east. So this push of wind is headed towards the east side of Savannah, right down Islands Expressway, Victory Drive. If you're in the Isle of Hope area, you'll be seeing some of these winds here very shortly. And it does look like still back towards I-95. 16 intersection. The color's a little bit brighter here on the screen, so that could be a little more wind potential. These storms don't necessarily have the strongest winds on the leading edge. It's typically what's behind it a little bit where some of those winds are at. Okay, so this is Bryan County right now that you're taking a live look at. This is State Route 144. and you're looking at just a huge sheet of rain. Got to really slow it down out there because you can hydroplane very easy. These rainfall rates are excessive right now, where we have some of these orange, yellow, and red colors across the area, and we still have the flood advisory for the Savannah area. And that will likely continue as this storm isn't really moving very fast. The last motion was southeast, maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour. What may happen, though, it may slow down as it gets a little bit closer to the coastline. So it is almost directly on top of the downtown area. And then we will see this severe thunderstorm warning continue towards our coastline. That goes until 6:45. So let's back the view out here, and we'll kind of get everyone set up with the warnings that we have in case you are just joining us right now here on WJCL 22. So let's put our warnings back on. And we're staying on here because our news is normally on, but this is what you're curious about right now, is the severe weather potential. So a severe thunderstorm warning, coastal areas of Bryan and Chatham County until 6:45. And then our severe thunderstorm warning for Bryan, sort of the central part of Bryan County. This goes into Chatham County, including Pooler, downtown Savannah, Port Wentworth, and Garden City. That goes until 6:15. Okay, so this is State Route 25 right now, where there is some heavy rain. The news a little bit better in terms of wind, because we're not seeing quite as much wind there with the stoplight shaking around or the trees off in the distance. So severe thunderstorm warning for inland Chatham County there till 6:15, and then the coastal areas until 6:45. So it's almost 6 p.m. We could see this storm pulse up just a bit. It may have weakened ever so slightly right over Savannah, but that does not necessarily mean there's less rain with it, because this is a slow mover and it's continuing to move over the same locations, or what we call training. Catherine, one thing we may want to start to monitor are some of these storms down here on the southern end towards the Hinesville area. If there's any rotation with that one kind of has that look that we had a little bit earlier, where we did see a little bit of weak rotation in Jasper County that prompted a tornado warning. So we can head back, get the warnings off here, and then what we'll start to do is sort of dissect this a little bit. So we'll monitor this down here. Nothing that jumps out at us, and this is turning into more just straight line winds pushing across the Savannah area, which is at least a little bit better news. Within the yellow lines, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning, and that will be continuing until 6:45 if you're at the coastline, and for the downtown area, this will go until about 6:15. Did you have anything else?
No new updates just yet. It does look like we are getting a little bit of discussion in parts of Effingham County, South Effingham County, which was included in that flood advisory. Some folks talking about seeing streets that don't normally flood, getting a lot of that water collecting on the roadways. And that's what we were talking about all day today, was the potential with these downpours. When we get such a quick rain rate, that some of those spots don't drain quick enough, and so we're getting those low-lying areas, seeing a little bit of that flooding. It does look like that these storms, again, going to continue to head towards the coast. Fort Stewart not included in that severe thunderstorm warning, but they're seeing a lot of that rain, as well as a lot of that frequent cloud to ground lightning at the moment. So these storms look to be holding together just a bit. It looks like no new areas that we are watching for potential rotation, but we are seeing some very strong wind gusts with this, Jeremy.
Okay. I think what we'll do is put the warnings back on here as this loops. We're giving everyone the general sort of direction that these are moving. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a little more inland Chatham and Bryan counties until 6:15, so about another 15 minutes or so. And then our coastal areas, we'll see how this evolves, because this line, it is still a lot of warm, moist air. There's been no rain towards our coastline today, so it may enhance these thunderstorms. There is just all kinds of lightning, and you can see those flashes there on the DOT camera right now, and it's just a big wall of water during our evening commute here. I see some people with their flashers on right now. That's fine, but what you don't want to do is sort of pull over to the side and stop in one of the lanes, and then everyone bottlenecks and someone comes through on just the regular driving lane and runs into the back of you. So again, if you want your flashers on, that's fine. Take it easy out there. What we recommend, though, if you get in a situation like that, maybe head off the next exit ramp, wait it out at one of your favorite gas stations or convenience stores, and then head back and continue your commute when things start to improve. And right now, not a lot of improvement. Wherever you see these red colors showing up, those are torrential downpours that could already be falling in spots that have picked up an inch to an inch and a half or more of rain. And we get localized street flooding here so easy. And this is over a fairly wide area. And we also have the flood advisory in Savannah right now. So these storms will eventually make it to the coastline. Could take a little bit of time, and that's why the severe thunderstorm warning goes until 6:45. You're taking a live look towards downtown Savannah. This is from our camera at the top of the Thompson Savannah, and we're looking towards the Talmadge Bridge. It looks like about the only thing we can make out there is a little bit of some of the tail lights on Bay Street, a little bit of the Savannah River there, and all kinds of rain and lightning in the downtown area. So that's how things are looking there right now. What we will also, Catherine and I will be keeping an eye on here are some of these little notches on the leading edge here. Sometimes you can get a little bit of weak rotation associated with that. So we can go take a dive in here one more time and take a look at our velocity. Yes.
One thing I want you to note, again, these street floodings. We have gotten a couple reports of, it looks like from Bryan County, there was a section of Tony Branch Road in Pembroke that is soon going to be impassable. So if you are in Pembroke or in Bryan County and you're headed out towards that way, keep that in mind. We also got a report from the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport that said that there was a wind gust of 49 miles an hour. So, again, this severe thunderstorm warning said those wind gusts would be up to 60 miles an hour. So it's absolutely right. And again, we are receiving those little reports from some of the areas that we're seeing a lot of that rain. Now most of that heavy rain has moved past Pembroke, but we are talking about some of those areas, those roads, not being able to pass. If you do run into a road where you can't see the lines on the road, you don't want to go through that. You want to turn around. Don't try and risk it.
Right. So I pulled up the storm report there that Catherine was mentioning, 49 miles per hour at the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. We'll get to our storm tracker radar network. I notice a little rotation marker just popped on. We don't have a tornado warning. We're going to toss it back to Greg Reset here for a second, and then we'll be back to give you some more weather information, Greg.
Covering Savannah and the Lowcountry, you're watching WJCL 22 News at 6, the one to watch.
Right now, you're taking a live look outside at I-95 and State Route 144 in Bryan County. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Greg Coy. Boy, we have an impact weather day, so let's get things right over to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Nelson, who's been on the air throughout the past couple of minutes talking about all these thunderstorms, this impact weather.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of radar analysis once again. So we'll set the stage for you. Within these yellow lines, those are severe thunderstorm warnings that we have across the area. It is so noisy in the Savannah area right now. We also have just buckets of rain coming down, localized street flooding, a flood advisory for the Savannah area, severe thunderstorm warning inland Chatham County and Bryan counties until 6:15, and then this one with the yellow lines that goes out towards the coastline. That goes until 6:45. Just a real quick look in here, and then we'll take a visual look outside for you. This was indicating a little bit of rotation starting to show up. We'll see if that's the case on our velocity tracker here. So nothing that really jumps out at us right now, but the storm moving through the Richmond Hill area, also Montgomery, Vernonburg. You're starting to see some of those stronger straight line winds. On the back edge, where Catherine was mentioning here just a little bit ago in Pembroke, some street flooding there. Your rainfall rates are starting to come down. Not the case in downtown Savannah. It is a gully washer out there right now. And look at the winds. The camera is shaking around there at the top of the Thompson Savannah. We probably have a good another 15, 20 minutes or so of this severe thunderstorm in the downtown area before we start to see things start to improve. So watch out driving anywhere across our area. It is 73 degrees. We had that wind gust not too long ago at the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport of 49 miles per hour. Now at Harbortown, it's pretty quiet out there right now. So we'll be watching this very closely, and as we go into this evening, your forecast is really all about if you're seeing those showers and storms or not. We still have the threat of thunderstorms into this evening, most numerous for our coastal areas, and you're taking a look right now at State Route 204 and King George Boulevard. A very slow go there, and look at that left-hand lane, some of those cars coming towards us, just the rain being blown around there, so the winds are picking up down on the south side. We'll be back in a few minutes with a complete update and look at the radar for you.